All right. Oh shit! I didn't share the Facebook Live though on my phone. It's okay. Fuck it.
Oh sure. Sure. You gotta come this way more. Yeah. All right. You want me to do this?
You got a minute. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let me share this.
Yeah, you do that. Is water now?
No.
You filled it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I feel like someone done crossed the goddamn line.
Okay. Let me switch.
Oh, your what is this? Epoxy or whatever? These things?
Yeah. I'm gonna cover the table so we'll be fine.
Yeah. All types of glitter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I'll lose my shit.
But it would be epoxified, so you wouldn't even feel it.
I know it's there. I know there's like the slim chance that it could be a pocket somewhere that's not covered properly.
That would never happen.
I'd brush against it, but motherfucker.
Okay, here we go. Alright.
Oh snap! Well, you have all this stuff, right? That we like send to each other and whatnot. Cause like I said, my phone is.
It's either to you or.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. Pull it up.
All right.
Actually.
No, yo, should have did it the way you were doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And take these off too.
Yep.
I can't see. Dude, I'm blind.
I know.
Like really.
I can't even lie. Like my like as if mine's ain't going away though.
Like that.
Like I feel like my
Not far.
No, but that also like that. It's also a smaller surface area you're looking at. You know what I mean? Like if it was like a bigger screen, you'd be fine. My hair look crazy right there, dog. Okay. We chilling though. Who cares? Yeah. So let's talk about our week. How things been going so far?
It's been going. I went to the gym. 1, 2, 3, 4. I went to the gym 6 times this week.
That's good. Damn. You doubled up twice or once?
I doubled up on Friday.
Friday. Because you didn't wake up on one of those days.
I didn't wake up Thursday.
But did you go later that day?
Mm-mm. So that's why I did double on Friday.
Oh.
I felt guilty.
That's how you do it, man.
I felt so guilty.
You got to stay with it. I never knew how much of an issue or how hard it was for me to put weight on.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then like now that I'm like at a good weight that I want to be at, I'm like, if I start like running and lifting like I did, am I just going to go right back down?
And I can't lose weight.
Right. I just like, for me, the biggest part was like knowing that someone can't just like toss me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because when I was lighter, they could have just tossed my ass in the middle. Well, I didn't mean it that way. But hey, you know, let's get the show rolling. What's going on, guys? We are here. It is a Saturday, so you know what that means. Another installment of the With All Disrespect podcast. I am Derek.
I'm Brianna.
She likes to talk shit about how I can't multitask when I'm doing things. You know what? I like this setup right here because just looking straight in the middle of them, they think we're looking at them. Love, respect, but don't forget all disrespect. Oh my God. What?
Bro, don't say that.
What did I say? Oh, the toss my ass?
Toss my ass.
You heard the toss my ass thing? Is that what you're talking about? That's too funny. Yo, you know you can pull Restream up on your phone, right?
No. What?
Yeah, get the app and log in, and you can pull up the text everywhere.
For real?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, but what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? We've been doing all right as best we can, you know, with the news and things that have been going on. You know, it's starting to become a point where it's like even watching the news on any given day is a fucking battle. Mm-hmm. You know, but
literally,
you know, we got to stay informed as people and be able to sit. I think the biggest thing is being able to have a heavy conversation. You know what I mean? So you have to be somewhat educated on what's going on, and you also got to be educated on like reality, in a sense, as weird as that sounds, being educated on reality. Yeah, it's like Restream.io or some shit like that. Go on their website. It'll just bring you to the app. Oh, why did they just log us out?
because I didn't even do anything yet.
Yo, that was crazy. We just got logged out of our.
Is it still on there?
Yeah, I hope so. Let me check on your phone real quick. Hold on, guys. We just got logged out of like all our other live feeds, so let's see what's going on.
It's so weird. Okay, so it didn't stop.
The stream is still going?
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna leave it like that. We'll figure it out later.
Right. Is she using her thing? Oh yeah, she is.
Kind of.
No, she is. Okay.
All right. I can read it.
I just need to put my glasses on. But yeah, so we got a couple things that we want to talk about. Like usually we like to do free flow, so it'll be some talking points for sure, but we will build off of it and go into our regular free flow conversation. And it's really just our takes. So like I always say, I am not the delegate for black people, but I will play the part as a delegate for black people. But you know, she's just the white lady, and she gets the somewhat claims. What's the term you guys like nowadays? When I was growing up, motherfuckers like I'm Hispanic. Now they don't like that.
I'm Hispanic.
Okay, I'm just saying. There's people who don't.
Hispanic, Latino on my.
There's some people who do, like.
I don't know the difference, so.
What Hispanic and Latinx or whatever Latinx.
Latino.
Do you say Latinx or Latinx? Like do you say like Latinx, Latinx? So Latin and then X
dash
is like.
X.
Is a dash?
Is a dash.
Oh, I didn't know there was a dash. But yeah, let's get it going. So obviously we're gonna talk about could talk about the George Floyd situation a little bit. I know that what's his name? Chauvin. He actually took the stand or something. I'm not exactly sure how that's going, but we do have what was the kid's name? The 13-year-old. That was shot in the chest. The lady screamed taser 3 times.
Dante Wright? Oh, that different one.
Was Dante Wright the Spanish kid? Yeah. I think that's who it was. But yeah, we're gonna go off on that. Hold on, guys. Let me get a little sippy. No, dang.
Oh, he was a 20-year-old.
Yeah. So what was the kid's name? It was
Adam Toleto.
Yes.
I think.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the Adam Toledo thing. Can you just make sure? Can you jump into I need to go grab another thing. Someone on Instagram. I can't read that.
Probably. Oh, I can go into it.
Right. Adam. Well, his name is Adam Toledo.
Yep, Adam Toledo.
So yeah, he was 13-year-old kid. Right, he's 13, young kid. Because wait, that's the one who got shot in the alleyway, right? And they said he had priors.
What?
Go.
Kid?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, they again, like I said.
Okay, so camera footage shows. Okay. Oh damn. Says authorities released body-worn camera footage that shows an officer making a split-second decision to fire a single shot
into the chest
that killed the 13-year-old Adam Toledo after the boy is seen holding a handgun at the end of a foot chase. Police say what was in Toledo's hand is a gun that was later recovered from behind the fence. In charging a 21-year-old man who was with Toledo at the beginning, it said it matched shell casings located where police were summoned moments earlier.
Right. So, off of the narrative that's being given or whatever, what I'm getting out of it is that there was, potentially or allegedly, this young kid and another guy who were standing on the corner or on the block, and shots rang out. I don't know why. I don't know for who or whatever, but shots rang out. And when the cops got called, obviously people dipped out, went whatever way they went. Young man got chased into the alleyway. And when the chase was going on, I'm assuming because the way it's going, they said that the gun was seen and then they recovered it behind the gate where he was stopped or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that means he dumped the gun, right? He had to have dumped the gun if it's behind the gate.
But they said, like, in that one, it said,
they said they saw him with the gun.
They saw him with the gun.
So you saw him while he was fleeing? and then he dumped it and kept going.
Say we saw him toss the gun that was later found.
Right, so of course they want to make it seem like the gun was on his person at the time. So my thing is, I don't know. Look, I'm like everybody else. I'm just listening or reading from what I'm getting from all these other accounts. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if this young man dumped the gun, again, like I get it. People want to play that angle of, oh, but the police, you know, they don't know what weapons or whatever. Bro, you knew he had a weapon, and then when you saw him and he put his hands up, because I saw that clip where he like turns and goes to put his hands up, and it was like both hands were up in the air like this. So I'm like, it's hard to think that he's getting a gun.
Y'all can't tackle a 13-year-old.
Right. Another thing is there were multiple articles. I forgot who the fuck it was, but they some bitch asses for this. Is that they tried to say 13-year-old man.
No, he's a child.
I'm like, 13-year-old man. When the fuck you ever see 13-year-old man?
What was that dude that shot up the church? And there was like they said
trouble. He had a bad day.
18-year-old teen had a trouble youth or whatever.
Yeah.
Trouble childhood or some shit like that. No, that's an adult.
Exactly.
That's an adult.
Exactly. So and again, it's not a matter of. And here's the thing: it's hard not to make it be like, all right, if it's not a white and black thing, then it's a white thing, right? You know what I mean? Like it's like white. Like the white's not doing wrong or doing bad or whatever. Not saying all, but the thing is where we can't have that narrative until we have the narrative that not all whoever are criminals or bad. Yeah. I'm not giving no pass to nobody if they're not giving it to the other side as well. And the other side can just be who you somewhat might have an opposition with. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like your mortal enemy or something. You know what I mean? But like until others start to give that credit, a credible doubt or whatever, why the fuck would I give it? Especially looking how I look, I'm not giving nobody no pass. You know what I mean? You know, it's a shame that the young man got murdered and died the way he did. I'm pretty sure it's the same incident where the lady yelled taser, right?
No.
Oh, that was Dante Wright. Okay, yeah. So this kid when he got shot in the alleyway, it was a single shot to the chest is what it was, I think.
It said, so for Toledo, it said he turned to his left towards the officer. What police say is the gun disappeared behind his right side. Toledo begins to raise his hands as he's facing the officer when the officer fired his weapon.
Yeah. Now, you know, it's obviously you shouldn't be reading the shit on social media and stuff, and it's tough not to. Like for me, it's tough. Like especially at the comments because you get the little punk ass people in the comments. But
so frustrating.
Oh yeah, but a lot of the stuff I'm seeing, I'm like, bro, like imagine he's a fucking kid. He's 13. How? Good.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in reading those comments, you see people trying to divide again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But again,
oh look, he's not black and he got gunned down too.
Yeah. They're trying to do.
They're trying to make it like not a black. It's not a black thing.
But the problem was always not even victimizing. It's the problem is a cop killed somebody when they should have arrested them. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times, and there was a good video I had showed you yesterday.
I haven't.
Of the guy with the police.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this would be a prime video to show those people who say that it's not all cops that do it, right? Well, here's the thing. This guy openly threatened to shoot the cops. He was resisting. The cop had him by the wrist. He pulled it away and said, touch me again and I'm going to shoot you. That was an open threat. And he says it out in the open, right? He says it out loud. It's recording. And he's like, oh, you know, you got your what is it? Your chest cam, body cam on and all that shit. So he knows what he's doing. He knows he's provoking, right? The guy gets arrested later down the road after he flees out from the initial stop. They arrest him. And what did he end up with? Do you remember?
Carrying a unconcealed weapon.
Misdemeanor.
That's it.
Like, so when you got these kids, now don't get me wrong, obviously there's background to stories, right? But in the end, these people should be taken into custody alive and have to face a proper.
Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they should have to, or should be able to face trial, right? Don't get me wrong, because I already have my own stance on the judicial system and whatnot. I don't feel like it is made as balanced or as equal as it says or people think or want to think it is. But
this was in Ohio.
Which one? That guy? Yeah, that one was in Ohio. Yeah. So it's like, of course people want to do the whataboutisms and whatnot, right? Well, sometimes when you have conversations, you don't use a whataboutism, you use a comparison, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like try and find things of similar status or similar circumstances, and you try and you look at the two and see the difference in them, right? Of course, all the time people's gut or cop out or not cop out. It's a valid argument is that it was different cops in different situations.
Yeah.
But there are far too many situations on the other side.
Yeah, but so, and I'm interested to see the people that think, or the people that want to justify the police's actions in a lot of the other...
The polices.
How they say, oh, he had an arrest warrant, or he should have listened, he should have did this, he should have did that. Do your kids always listen?
Right.
Do you shoot them in the face when they don't listen?
Here's a better one I like to ask people. Did you not fuck up at one point in life? Did you not have a part where you look back and said, I could have did that better?
And should you die for that?
No, exactly. Right. And then you're being killed by someone
who's supposed to protect you.
What? This person just walks into the situation and just does whatever. They take over and say, cool, I can do that, whatever it is.
But they're sworn in to protect.
Right. But the problem is that they also know, like, they have backing of whoever. You know what I mean? And obviously it's going to be their police force that back them. And then it goes, like, up the ladder, however you want to call it. But I just find it to be one of those things where it's like we can't fix it, and like because it's so deep rooted in like the history of the police. It's so deep rooted in the history of America, and when you start thinking on such a grand scale or a big scale, there's no way not to be like, what do you call that, deterred, or to feel like everything you're doing is for naught, and obviously like day-to-day conversations would help with like people and people around you. That'll make things, I don't say easier, but at least you're getting it out there, you know what I mean? And having conversations with other people. Yeah. What were you in for?
No, I was just reading that it says at least 100 people arrested on the sixth night of the protest in Oakland.
What protest?
They're protesting his death.
Oh, yeah. 6 people were arrested? 100 people?
100 people.
On the 6th night?
On the 6th night.
Of Dante Wright?
100, yeah.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Dante Wright...
And it says, Dante Wright and Adam Toleto protests turned violent in cities across the U.S. I'm trying to look for it. So Dante Wright was fatally shot Sunday by a police officer in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, I don't know if this is 100% true. Mm. So he was pulled over or stopped, and then he had a warrant or a potential warrant, and so the cop pulled him over or something, and then she went to grab her taser and shot him instead. And her excuse is she thought it was her taser.
Right? Yep. So I don't know what again.
It was a traffic stop, so.
Right. But again, you got to remember, people are always going to try and paint it whatever way they want to paint it, right? I'm just trying to look at it for what I have in front of me for the case, in the sense of what we know happened, how things usually will progress.
Excuse me.
Wow. DMCA'd like a motherfucker. Yeah, so the way like these things usually progress, you get whatever kind of violation or whatever they say happened, they stop you. From the stop, they... Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. Ba-da-ba-bum. Yeah, so I'm back. All right, the way a traffic stop goes, whatever the traffic violation or whatever violation was, they'll stop you, tell you what it is, and then you progress that way, license and all that kind of get exchanged, and then when they determine if they need to detain you or arrest you, then it goes that way. So in this instance, it sounds like she stopped him, got his information, ran his information, or knew that who he was. He had a warrant. She went to let him know. Do we know if she was alone? That police officer?
Yeah,
she was alone. So she was.
Oh, sorry.
Damn.
I don't know what that just hit.
The table?
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm back.
So yeah, in the middle of the stop or whatever, she determined either that she had to make an arrest because he had warrants. Yeah. Now this is where I'm not sure. Because now it becomes not only hearsay unless there's like video footage and whatnot. Because I haven't seen anything yet. But she says that he went to reach back into his car for something. And then she was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." Yelled taser 3 times, and then shot the guy.
Oh, he was originally stopped for expired plates when then she ran his license and realized he had an outstanding warrant. I didn't know what the original traffic
was. So like I said, they find a reason, or there's a reason, or whatever, however you want to look at it, there's a reason, or a stop happens. Then that's how it breaks down. Now, so did she have a body cam on? Yeah. Obviously, because they said that she yelled taser 3 times. But my question to this...
this was the air freshener one.
What?
It said that...
That's Dante, right?
Yeah. It said an air freshener hanging illegally from the rearview mirror.
Was why she stopped him? How did... So he got stopped because of an air freshener and then he dies?
That's what. So it says, Dante Wright, 20, who died Sunday after a run-in with the police in a suburb, was driving an SUV with expired license plates. He also ran afoul of Minnesota law that prohibits motorists from hanging air fresheners and other items from their rear view.
So what was the stop for?
Expired plates.
So why are they mentioning that part?
Because apparently that's another law that he broke, and that's...
So he broke 2 laws and deserved to die. Is what they're trying.
That's what they're
trying to push.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then what? You want to carry on? Like what else?
So it said.
They gave a breakdown on
this. This is the police chief.
Okay.
He was pulled over for having an expired registration on the vehicle. When the officer went over, an item hanging from the rearview mirror was spotted. It was after that a gross misdemeanor warrant was issued for his arrest. Minutes later, a gunshot rang out. Wright joined the ranks of other... I don't even know who... What is this website? Okay. It just goes into a lot of the other people that were murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And then it said, Gannon, who was the police chief, said that he believes the officer meant to pull a taser in Sunday's shooting, but instead pulled her service weapon.
Right.
So she didn't say that? You're just assuming?
No, she said that. She said she thought it was, like, in the video or whatever. Like, I only heard the audio, though. I never seen, like, the actual, like, video of it. And she, like, says, like, taser 3 times. And then when she pops the shot, she's like, oh, my God, I shot him. And I want to say he drove off and then dies later. Yeah, don't play no audio, though.
No.
But anyways, no matter what, it's still like, all right, you're a 25 to 27 year veteran in the force, and you don't know the difference between your taser and your gun.
And they don't look or feel the same.
And one's heavier than the other.
And they're on opposite sides.
Regulation, I'm assuming regulation will determine, like, either you have your gun on your dominant hand or your taser on your dominant hand. So you should know.
So when I was looking this up, it said that the guns were on, like, their service weapons, their gun is on their dominant hand.
Right.
Although, what I was saying, like, I was just watching the video. This lady...
You know if you're reaching dominant or not.
But it doesn't even matter. So say you were like, oh, maybe you transferred and in your other unit it was the other way around. Whatever, right? Just say that.
Right.
I'm just saying, for purposes.
Yeah.
You are putting this gun in front of this kid's face multiple times, and you can clearly see it is not yellow.
Right.
Multiple times you are doing this. And look, right here. Mm-hmm. Look how far extended it is.
Is it yellow?
Yeah, you can see the yellow because the other guys, he didn't have his... So she wasn't alone. You can see this guy over here.
No, but her taser's definitely yellow.
Her taser's 100% yellow.
Oh, she has black. Yeah, that was the gun. Yeah. The taser was yellow.
So even if you're like, oh, I thought it was my taser, you're putting it in front of.
Right.
You're putting it in front of your face. Yeah. So you know.
And the way I feel like I know it's bullshit is because the amount of times that I've been stopped or even walking, and when a cop comes, they put their hand on their gun. Mm-hmm. They know that you know where the fuck your gun is. You're not doing this. No, they never go taser. They always go gun, and then they fucking do their little finger flick to unclip that bitch.
Do you think that's a flaw in the system, that the taser should be on their dominant side?
No, not at all. Because if it's me in a situation and I know I got to pop, I need to be able to pop and aim right away. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more, what's that word? When you're not wasting any body motion. Yeah, efficient. It's efficient to have it on your right side. You're pulling and you're ready to go. It makes sense if you're thinking logically, right? My thing is also you already should know that, and then you've been in the force for at least 25 years. That you're gonna. How can you like justify an excuse that I didn't know what I pulled? Yeah. Like, bitch, like come the fuck on, yo.
But so even then, right? I feel like even if that's the excuse you want to use, right? Oh, I didn't know. Then guess what? That shows me that you're incompetent to be a police officer. And
I was gonna say you should have never been on the force. And it shows training is fucked up because why are you guys not constantly doing trainings?
But they should say, for you to be on this service or in this field for however many years and don't know your left from your right or your gun from your taser, come on.
Right. Yeah, no, there's no excuse. Like I said.
No, it's bullshit is what it is. Because they just look stupid now. The whole unit looks stupid.
Right. No, I agree. But not even just the whole unit, the whole force as a whole. Like the police force, it's starting to become more of a joke, and it's starting to show that it's like, as much as they want that argument of, oh, not all of us are bad, now you guys are starting to really feel what it feels like to be like a black person in America. No, not all of us are bad. None of us deserve to, die and be ostracized for someone else's actions and shit like that. That's all we always say is like, let us live our lives and leave us the fuck alone. That's it. And then again, it's always some reason for us to understand your point of view. Yeah. But you never take the time to understand or sympathize with what we've been through or what we're going through. And that's not even on a level of like generational shit. How about right now? When was the last time somebody like that is from a whole nother upbringing reached across the table to listen and or to have a conversation? Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like sitting with someone you never really would cross paths with in life and just seeing who they are. Like that's the kind of shit that's like, until that kind of stuff happens and is the norm, we're always going to be dealing with this shit. Like if you want to ask me like if slavery is ending anytime soon or the current like status of shit right now, like the way things are, this shit's not changing at all, bro. We're still in like that slavery shit, but like we're in like the third stage of it. You know what I mean? Like, cause it was like slavery. They said it was no more slavery. They ended up finding all the other ways, like segregation and all that other shit. This is another ploy, and we're in that same shit. Now it's just a matter the abuse of it. You know what I mean? Like,
but I do feel like we're going backwards in the sense of like, they say history repeats itself, and I feel like that's what's happening. All this stuff, maybe it never went away. Maybe it honestly never went away. It was just kind of like, what?
Your mic is like that in your face.
It's fine.
Yeah, just put it over there and then turn it this way, and then you can talk regular.
Okay. It doesn't feel comfortable that way. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying.
You feel like we took a step back?
No, I feel like history is repeating itself because it's like, at this point, the whole Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of people are saying that that's a form of segregation, but the whole Black Lives Matter movement happened in response to what's happening in our society, and the reason why is like, black people aren't creating segregation.
Black people.
You know what I mean? Like, right. Black people aren't creating segregation again. They don't feel safe outside anymore.
Well, you got to remember, how do you say we created it again when someone had already gave it a name? We don't create something that's already given a name, right?
Yeah, or you're restarting it is what they're saying.
When do you feel like segregation ended in America? I can tell you how it didn't.
I thought to an extent.
Tell me one place that I wouldn't go up here.
Up here?
Yeah. in Mass? Like, tell me one place you know I wouldn't go. Just tell me one. It's like a city or a part of a city.
I don't.
Southie? Still wouldn't go out there. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of shit. It's like, even though it's like not as, I don't even say like lawful, because I don't think at any point it should have been lawful, but it's not as predominant.
Yeah.
We still know there's areas. You know that there's areas white people don't go with blacks, right?
Yeah.
Or inner city, as they like to say it now.
Inner city. I mean, I'll go wherever the hell I want.
Think about it this way: if in Massachusetts, even though I know how racist this bitch is, like, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be super progressive and all that kind of shit, right? So think about the dirty South. Think about the South. Mm-hmm. There are probably still states that you know you shouldn't go live in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and then or big ass like big parts of the neighborhoods
I don't think segregation ended.
That's what I asked you. If you think it ended.
No, I don't think it ended. That's why I think there's different forms of it.
Can you name a city that a black person shouldn't go to in Mass, other than Southie?
No, because I think that people should be able to go.
No, I mean like as in like, not matter where you think they should be able to go, in the current the current way things are, and how like who you know how people are in those areas. Mm-hmm. Like, could you tell me one that you don't think they should go?
No, I also don't like really go out there, and I also feel like I shouldn't also go there.
Why?
Because my skin color is white, but I don't act like them.
I know she didn't just say that.
It's true.
You can't identify as black.
I can identify.
You can't. We'll let you be. We'll let you be Spanish. That's it. You can
listen, I have. It's what is it? What'd you call it? You called it white African.
What?
When I said I had African in my DNA.
Isn't it South Africa? Mm-hmm. That's what. South Africa? Mm-hmm. That's where where they colonized.
I have Northern Africa.
Where?
I don't know. I don't know anything about.
You're full of shit.
I'll show you.
No, but you got to remember when you do those DNA things or whatever it's called.
It's always gonna.
No, it's not gonna change. It's that it's gonna give you a general area. Like right now they'll be like, oh, what is known as whatever today.
Yeah.
Okay, so what people or what kind of people inhabited that area before?
Literally like 0.2.
0.2 is not even a whole percent. That shit don't count. That's like us all. We all got like a 0.1 of Asian in us. Oh.
No, that's true though.
But, yeah, I don't know. I could think of a couple like areas.
But I think that's that could also be.
You heard that shit?
Yeah, that could also be my bias. Is I don't have to know that. You know what I mean? Or I didn't. Even
not bias. I think it's what do you call that when you don't like.
It's a bias.
No, it's privilege in a sense, but like I forgot what else to call that. Like where
entitlement.
Not at all. Entitlement would mean you expect it. You know what I mean? You like you said, you don't have to. You never was faced with it, so it's like ignorance in a sense because you're not aware of it. But.
And I think that's a big part too. Is well, what were you saying before? Because I was gonna say something.
What part? Like what were we talking about?
When you were saying how people have like everyone wants like black people to be like see their perspective
right.
or whatever. I was thinking how even when like a black person gets murdered, it's still that same rhetoric. They're still like, oh, but you could see why it went the way it did because he had a warrant, because he did this. They
go and do that. What do you call character defamation campaign, and it's like,
and it's like years and years of like digging up stuff on these people.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like as much as all these people, and I'm gonna say it, it's like the motherfuckers will open their mouth for the white motherfuckers and the Spanish motherfuckers. As much as you see them talk about, our justice system, laws are laws and shit like that. All right, well, a lot of these motherfuckers that y'all talk about who have these priors went to jail for their priors.
They did their time.
So, and that, they're exactly, you know what I mean? So, as much as, like, they want it to be like, I'm a rehabilitated person and all that shit, give that motherfucker the shot of the doubt.
It's also, too, like, especially for people who went to prison. What are you laughing for?
Because you did the claw.
I didn't do the claw.
You did the fucking claw. You want to run tape?
Anyways. it's like people who have gone to prison, especially minorities who have gone to prison, there's no rehabilitation for them. So when they come out, they can't get jobs, they can't do certain stuff. So then it's that cycle. They just keep going back in. So you're judging this person when they don't even have the resources to get better or do better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have the other side. You have, people that are able, who have, whether it's money or even people that they might know, that are able to give them those resources to get clean or get help or, get an education so that they can move forward with their lives. But a lot of people who have gone to prison don't have that opportunity. So when they come out, they have to go back to the only thing they know because they have no money. There's no further education. So in a lot of times, in order to get a good job, you need to have some form of education. Right.
So what it sounds like you're going towards is a prison reform where education and resources are available in a sense of, I think, mandatory. Because while you're there, you should have to, you know what I mean? Like, because I forgot who it is. Is it New Zealand or something like that? They do that? They have like an education system in the prison. And they come out with a fucking trade.
And you can't get, it's part of your, like,
prison. It's like your sentence.
Discharge or whatever.
Right, you have to complete whatever. Right. I agree with that. Because in the end, like you said, now you're coming out with something. Yeah. Most of the time, even not comparing the two, but when motherfuckers come out the military, what is the most, like the biggest combat or biggest thing that they combat? PTSD, and then also not feeling like they belong.
What do you call it?
Out of place.
Integrated.
Yeah. Right. So like a lot of the times, you know what kind of jobs they get? And I'm being honest. Most of the time, a lot of them go and become chefs.
Why?
Because it's the high intensity go. You know what I mean? So they become chefs. Obviously, you see some become police officers and things like that. But it's definitely the ones that have that you're on edge and you gotta work. You know what I mean? A couple of the guys that I know who came out of the army and went right into the culinary are some of the hardest workers. They might not know like the techniques and shit, but they fucking, I'm gonna put my best me forward. You know what I mean?
But I think like the whole prison reform thing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel there's a certain, this is a bias, but there's a certain what do you call?
Oh, let's talk about it. Shoot that shit.
There's a certain.
Just say it.
All right, motherfuckers who done rape people or fuck kids.
I didn't think that's where you was going.
Fuck them. They don't get to get education. Keep them asses in there. But I will say, even with that, okay, child rapers in general, and like shit like that.
Fucking raper person.
I'm sorry, but if there was more education and stuff when they come out, I think they'd be less likely to do it.
To do what?
To like reoffend.
No. If someone wants to fuck a kid, they're gonna fuck a kid.
So listen, hear me out, okay? Because these fucking classes that they make people do
are like jokes.
Rehabilitate.
What was it? Do they show like a kid in like a bikini, like in a bikini or something?
I don't know.
You don't like this.
I don't know what they do because
no,
I've never been there. I don't know, but it's always like I'm saying come off of the child raper stuff.
Oh.
In general, they're like you have to attend anger management and you have to do this and you have to do that. Right. Okay, I just go and check off a box.
I would spend my day there. Like
it's not. You know what I mean? Like that's not. You're not giving them anything to be like, I need to understand this and retain this information. Mm-hmm. So they're not educating themselves because they're just checking a box so that they can
be done with it. Right, and then like most of the time, what you said, the ones who don't have the resources end up with probation for 10 to 15 years off of a small petty crime or something like that.
Which boggles my mind.
Well, you want to hear this one? I don't know if you know. I'll show you the guy, but he went to jail for 15 years.
I think I hear.
Because he committed a crime. He knows he said it. He owned up to it or whatever. He had 15 years, and
it was like right before he was about to get off, right? His probation.
No, this guy. No, what I'm talking about is different. So the guy had 15. He got 15 years for robbing some house or whatever. $1,200, right? Anything over $1,000 is grand larceny. Yeah. Right. So.
Which is crazy.
He goes.
Because that's not even. That my rent's higher than that.
Right. So when you go, but that could make or break people though. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when he was going to a court date, a guy was coming out, and while they were waiting in that room, the guy asked him, "Hey, young man, what are you in here for?" You know, the kid he was like 15 or something, or 16, and he told him, you know, he showed him his paper. He said, like, because I guess in lockup you always have your paperwork. So he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "I bet I can guess." He's like, "I bet you whatever you're in here for is less than $20,000, and you got more time than me." And he goes, he's like, "Here's my paper." He showed him the paper. The guy who he was talking to said, "I laundered $2.7 million from my insurance company, and I got 6 months." He's like, the kid was like, "Oh," and this is how I learned what the shit was. He got 15 years for $1,200. Yeah. This man still, and he only had to pay back. Sorry, he took 2.8. He had to pay back. Was it 3.1. Had to pay back 900,000 and kept the 2.7 or whatever the fuck it was.
This is part of the bigger issue, right?
It's like
this. Whatever. So at that point, right? You can't not say that it's not like a money thing.
Well, the system's favoring a specific. It caters to a certain group.
Yes.
And that group is predominantly a certain color.
But it like even for freaking like rapists and child predators, they get less time than somebody who is carrying a joint.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie though. Majority of the time when you be seeing these rapers and shit, what color are they?
Boy. Yeah. That's why.
It's like what
I'm saying fuck? Like there has been like, you know, there are like it's just in general there's no fucking way. Honestly, that motherfucker wanted these drugs, so let this drug dealer be hitting the streets.
Oh, I want to go off something before I forget. Oh, did I just forget? Fuck, I think I forgot. Fuck, go ahead. Oh no, so you talking about the raper thing and shit? Did you hear about the Boston police chief?
I heard bits and pieces, but what's the new?
This motherfucker raped over 20 boys, bro.
What?
Over 20 boys while he was the fucking police chief of Boston. What do you mean? How? Look it up. Go ahead, pull it up.
How is he alone with these kids?
Bro. He's fucking
he's
knocking down the cadets. Good. I don't know. He's like the fucking church out here too. This is crazy. Was that weird? Knocking down the cadets. What the fuck is wrong with
you? And the thing that pisses me off, and I do this a lot. Ooh. Like I see this all the time. You had the balls to take these fucking kids' innocence, but you don't have the balls to show your face.
Oh, you mean they kill themselves? Oh my fucking god, no, pussy!
Like you covering your face, like. No,
told you.
Show that shit. Show us, sir.
That's fucked up. Yeah. So here's the thing, and like the craziest part is like a lot. I don't know if people know this.
Call him an ex-officer.
Nah, my guy. Well, yeah, no. Let him have that. Let him have that title, cause put that shit with it. You did wrong. Police can also do wrong. So stop with this narrative that.
Only been the commissioner for a month before they found out.
The commissioner? Well, he was the chief of police before, right?
It said he was the commissioner since February 1st, 2021. He was placed on leave.
So he was the chief of police first, then he became the commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My biggest thing is like, you know, I feel like the narrative a lot of the times, and this is across the board on all media. At a certain point, the media always finds a way to make it seem like the police are not wrong or everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like you still hold a respect for them because they're officers. But when the narrative as a whole is looking detrimental to people that look like me, why the fuck would I give respect? I'm not saying like to, you know, do anything where you're jeopardizing your life or putting your life at risk with these people. Yeah. Just like I wouldn't tell you to go do that shit with your everyday life. I wouldn't tell you to go get into a scrap playing basketball for no fucking reason. I'm not gonna say that sit there and argue with no cop or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just not the guy who's gonna sit there and argue with people unless it's like, you know, I know I'm willing to fight. You know what I mean? In general. But oh my god, I forgot who said it, man. Oh, my guy from I Am Athlete. Mm-hmm. He said, stop letting these people their evaluations, like don't let what they evaluate you as value, like be a big value to you. So how much does that person mean to you for you to let what they say or do bother you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for me, like when a police officer stops me, bro, I keep that shit calm and clear. I'm like, why? You know, what was the stop? Like, what was the stop for? What did I do? And if they remember the guy in Air or whatever,
yeah,
he hit me with 2 different things, and I asked him which one is it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he pretended like he got a call. Was like, okay, just go slow down. I said, whoa, you stopped me because you said I was driving too close to the car in front of me, which was my lady. So which one is it, my guy? Like, you know what I mean? But
I'm confused.
What?
I'm confused.
What?
So it says this guy's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's police commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
He's the 43rd commissioner and the second African American to hold the role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Is that's the guy?
Huh?
I mean, there's light-skinned black people. Is he the commissioner now? Or that's the guy who was raping?
I don't know.
Go look at the guy who was raping and get his name.
This it. So this is that.
So then that's the guy.
But he's not African American.
He is or isn't?
He's not African American. That just said he's the second African American to hold this title.
Why do you say he's not African American? Because his skin was white?
He's not fucking African American.
Brianna, there are light-skinned black people. What are you talking about? Don't be, what's her name? Sharon Osbourne. Don't do that.
What the fuck is Sharon Osbourne?
Ozzy Osbourne's wife, who said some stupid shit on the fucking, what was that show? The Talk or whatever? The View? The View. Is that called? That talk show when they sit around? Yeah, because they would talk about Meghan Markle.
Oh.
Did you see that shit? And she was like, but she's not black. And they were like, yes, the fuck you just did that. You just did that. You just did that. Okay. John Legend.
You could clearly tell that he has.
My mom.
Okay, you can clearly tell.
That guy could have tone.
It's called tan.
Oh my
it's
god.
Called a tanning booth.
They all look like mucus color, if you ask me. Like, what's his last name?
White.
There's a lot of different. James White. Hello, he's black. So what is wrong with you?
That's just fucking around.
I need to know, like.
So apparently in 1995.
Oh, this shit's going back.
Yeah, the Boston police
got
filed
against him.
Against Patrick Rose.
That's the raper?
That's a whole nother raper, I think. This is the raper. I don't want to say his name. Yeah, it is. Allegations against Dennis White.
You know you was raping people, bro. Stop playing.
But so there's a whole nother case that was open against somebody else, but still in the Boston police chief. He was the Boston police chief at the time.
Can't be doing this shit, bro. Like, you know, freaking kids. Also, as much as those people are going to bat for these people in Hollywood who kind of know you gotta go fucking suck to get where you want to get.
And it said this was one of the first times that with the George Floyd.
What about?
With the George Floyd trial. And there's like, this is the first time in a long, 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 long time, if ever, that the police are like, that's all him.
Right, yeah. Ooh, shit.
And this is another one where they're like,
that's the thing is like, you know, it's a lot of these, like, I don't want to call them clubs, but it's kind of what they are. They're so tightly knit that they watch out for each other. And as bad as we say in the police are, it's also deep rooted just like that in a lot of other walks of life. Yeah. Be it, corporate jobs, be it Hollywood, you know, things like that. A lot of these motherfuckers that are in these like positions of power and these different avenues are what do you call it when it's like through your lineage? Like when you got it because like your father or whatever? Inherited? Kind of, right. Like they inherited like the position or the spot. You know what I mean? So it's like all he did or that person, whoever came up after them, they just learned from what the person before them did. And those around them also help mold this person into the normal. Like, you know, this is how you're supposed to be. And then you get them going for the next one at bat, as in, say, like, sitting in the seat, right? And it's like, you know, again, we want to keep saying, like, America has come a long way and shit. Well, where is the long way? Where have we come a long way from? If you're going to say, like, we're not getting beaten and murdered, we are. We still are. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to say we're not getting paid for our job, like, our work and whatnot. Well, some of us still aren't getting paid, you know, in general. And then the wages that we're making aren't cutting it for, you know, cost of living and or quality of life. So, yeah, we're still technically slaves to the money, slaves to the abuse and tyranny of a specific group. And then also the police stayed the same throughout this whole bitch. Ain't that's crazy as fuck? They done stayed the same.
So I mean, I feel like I gotta do some more research because I think this is the dude. There's two dudes, maybe.
Two dudes.
I don't know who Dennis White is, but the Patrick Rose guy.
Right. Was that the one from the 95?
He was the one from 95, but recently. So he first faced child abuse allegations in 1990. So 1995, he's 66, a retired officer. And, so it said he was charged last August.
Okay.
So August of 2020, when a father and his teenage daughter reported that she had been molested by him from age 7 to 12.
That's fucked up.
So it's recent.
Right.
And then within weeks, 5 more kids came forward and said that he was doing the same thing. And then it just
That's crazy.
Went from there. So who is Dennis White?
He's potentially a raper too. But we just don't know exactly what or how many times.
Rose pleaded not guilty to 33 charges. 6 alleged victims. He's being held on $200,000 bail.
God damn, bro.
He said, his attorney said, my client maintains his innocence to all of the charges that have been brought against him. He maintains his innocence to what was alleged to have transpired back in 95.
But if it's coming back up, and it's the same thing, isn't there? Like when there's smoke, there's fire. Isn't that how we supposed to be looking at that?
So who
he likes to diddle kids, bro.
Somebody said, it is appalling that there was a documented history of alleged child sex abuse.
And nothing happened.
Yet this individual was able to serve out his career as an officer and eventually become the head of the patrolmen's union for several years. Oh, that was the mayor. Acting Mayor Kim Janney. So she's taking Marty Walsh's spot.
Yeah.
Because he's going
to Biden. Yeah. Yeah, man, I just find that crazy. I don't want to dwell on it too long because it's like that's a very dark topic, but it's like I don't understand like what would make you look at a child and be like I want to do stuff with that.
I honestly feel like it's less about the actual like child and more about the power that they know they hold over that child.
That could be for some, but some people it's a thing where it's like they
like the bodies of children. But
right.
I'm saying like I feel like that's how it starts. Is like
some of it might be a power. Well, think about it. You got to think about these guys freaking these grown women. Yeah. They know it's a power thing, so for sure it could definitely be. It could be an element to it, but ultimately you have to be able to be like, I want to do something.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, and it's so wrong. But I think like you said, like there's certain people I feel like you really can't forgive like certain actions. You know what I mean?
One of them. I don't give a fuck if your brain is jacked up.
No, but that's not an excuse to me.
Then you got to go.
What do you mean? Because just like, I don't care if it was someone who had like actual like mental retardation or something and did this to a kid.
Not okay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's certain things you cannot cross because you can never fix it.
One of my like something that I tend to do like when I hear people defending or like I think for me. I know that people have jobs, right?
Right.
Like there's jobs and
that is a thing. That is true.
There's going to be people that have to defend child molesters, child predators. Like that's a thing.
Right, like a lawyer.
As a lawyer, I have to do that for you.
Right. I'm gonna just throw the case, bro. I still get paid.
That's what I'm like literally like, but if you think about it, it's like just envision that being your child. Would you be okay with anything that's coming out of your mouth? Would you be okay hearing that from somebody else? In regards to your child.
So you know why a lot of these guys take those cases?
Why?
Because they want to just beat the odd. The more the better. Say they get a case that's pretty much, sign sealed, lock it up, right? And he goes in and she goes in and pokes just enough holes. Now that's on his resume. Mm-hmm. I got this one off. So now he can go get that Fortune 500 company. Yeah. It's not even a matter of he's staying with the whole.
He can get the CEO of that big.
Right, and then get put on retainer. Like that's the reason why they take these like fucked up cases
and it's like I get it, I know.
Like public defenders are who I feel bad for. Because they get thrown on that. Uh-huh. Where if I worked for a certain right, and they're like, this guy did this, we're gonna put you on it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
but like the public defenders, like, they're like, yo, I know this motherfucker did this shit. Get him gone.
Exactly. Like, I don't.
But on a lighter note,
Just shoot them all in the head. I don't
Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That's his name? Split up again? Nope. They tried to make it work and then they split up again. J-Lo really trying to go for more rings than Brady. What the fuck?
It's working.
Brady closing in, though. Brady's closing in. Edelman retired.
Good.
After a failed physical for his knee.
Something else.
Did you see his video?
Negative.
The video he put on
No.
he put his like pretty nice video up on his Instagram and social media.
This one, remember?
What? I don't know.
The 5 rings.
I don't know if I watched that. Did I not watch it?
All right. Well, let's talk about it because then that's even better.
Let's
then I can know.
talk about it.
There was a video on Instagram or Facebook. I don't really know where it started, but
I usually just say social media to make it easier.
and so basically what it was is this guy was proposing to his girlfriend, and he brought 5 different engagement rings for her, so she could choose whichever one she wanted, and that's her engagement ring.
What's he gonna do with the other ones?
That's one question that I had.
Okay.
Like, are these just like rented and then you buy the one that you want? You know what I mean? Or did you buy all of these and then you're gonna return them?
Right.
I don't know. But for me, I was just thinking, and I was playing devil's advocate because people get really, really angry. It's like, shouldn't she just be happy with what he brought to her?
Yeah.
One.
Oh,
Second, shouldn't he know her enough to know what she would like?
Bitch, listen. I'm like, here, that's what I got.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if, and I think this is a problem that we have as women, is we set these standards for the men.
Mm-hmm.
No, for real.
No, go ahead.
We set these standards for the men that we need like the biggest ring or the best ring. When what the fuck is that gonna change? You know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's like you want this. It sounds stupid as fuck. You want this $20,000 ring for what? Put that shit in a house.
I also agree.
Like, bitch, you can get me a fucking ring out the quarter machine. Thank you. Come and get it.
Not getting you no ring.
Out the quarter machine.
I'm only here.
Gave me a ring.
I'm only here so I don't get fined. Bitch, that was like a fucking promise ring.
Still there. Oh, almost 11 years later.
You were just talking about like a fucking engagement ring, bro. Like, no, chill out. See, she's about to cause an argument.
Anyways.
Listen. Hold on.
What?
I'm talking houses and property.
Yes, I agree.
She's talking rings.
No, I'm not talking ring.
Okay. So we talking houses and property.
Houses and property.
Right,
I'm just saying, in this aspect, you know what? Like the proposal, all that stuff. It was great. Have fun. Merry Christmas. I don't know how much money you spent, but if that's your path, that's your path.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I feel like that. I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of like not selfish.
Bitchy. That wasn't the word you're gonna say, bitchy.
Who?
The girl.
Like
ungrateful.
Unappreciative. Like he felt he had to bring you 5 different rings.
Oh! I thought she did something that made you feel she was being a bitch.
No, like.
So just because he brought 5, you're like, why he got to be so?
Like it's like, and I could just be making judgment because I don't know this girl, I don't know this man, but it's like, why was this a thing? Why do we feel? Because now all the men in the comments were like, dude, you just set the bar so high. Like, what am I supposed to do?
The fuck he did? What?
But it's like, that,
I disagree.
But I'm saying, like, that is causing extra pressure. For what?
For real.
Who the fuck was like, this is a great idea.
I'm gonna go get 5 of them bitches. Yeah, right. That's true. I agree.
And then for her to be like, yeah, I want that one. What the fuck? No.
Right. Remember though, a lot of the time on social media, shit's for show.
Yeah,
but still, just the idea. Right.
I said, if you bitches think that that's fucking appropriate, then guess what? Your relationship isn't as strong as it might seem.
Why do you get to call them bitches, but I can't?
You can call them bitches. I thought you was calling me a bitch. That's why I was like, what the fuck? What did I do?
Bitch. No. So yeah. All right. So
it made me a little. I was like, huh.
A little jealous.
Not jealous. It's like, no, it's not. It's not jealous. So let's clear that right the fuck up. Not jealous. I'm just saying that you should, as a a woman in a relationship, you should be okay with whatever your partner brings to the table.
True.
Like, he shouldn't have felt like he had to do that.
Now, if this is giving off the sense that he felt like, I don't know what she's gonna want. This is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Now, let's say that's just him. You know, I work so hard so I can give her this. So this is what I'm gonna do. I want her to choose it for herself. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, again, like to go off of what you were saying when the guys in the comment section and whatnot, that's their own shit they got to deal with. Because you just look at our relationship. We've learned each other enough to be like, I know you're not, I mean, you're picky, but you're not, what do you call it? Ungrateful or selfish like that. You know what I mean? So if I did bring you something about you, something you would appreciate it. Just like the same thing on my end. The biggest thing about it is like those guys who are saying it probably single and are like, fuck, if I ever tried or wanted to, and this girl saw this video, how am I going to top that? Well, why do you feel you need to be the one up?
Exactly.
Instead of you just doing what you can and be happy and live your life with her. Because remember, what they eat don't make you shit. Who they fuck don't make you come. And so why you worried about what he did? I mean, yeah, if it was cool, all right, nice, good job, brother. Appreciate you. Keep it moving. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think like I'm a big believer in like, you know, whatever works in my relationships with anybody, I keep it there. Because like when I'm working on things and whatnot and I find that it works out, why change it?
And I feel like for...
Well, sorry, hold on, I'm sorry. Not just works out, but it's like well oiled. Like it gets shit done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like in society, there's a huge pressure for people to get married in general. Mm-hmm. And it's like that is equated to love. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of people are like, oh, that if you don't marry each other, then you're not really like in love or you're not committed.
You're not giving yourself your all.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
But
go ahead.
For me,
just say it in general. Just say in general.
Okay, in general.
Go ahead.
Motherfucker, we know so many people that were married, so in love, and then divorced or freaking hate each other and just stay there for the kids, and or freaking cheat on each other because they can't break up because of listen, marriage doesn't fix anything. Honestly, it just fucks you over in taxes and like other shit later in life. But it's like it doesn't change anything. So with or without a ring, and I'll speak for myself, with or without a ring, we still good. Like this relationship is still strong. We're still here. We communicate mostly.
It's a bunch of yelling and screaming on my part.
But it's like that ring's not gonna change anything. The ring's not gonna make me love him more. The ring's not having a ring doesn't make me love him less. Like it's still going to be here. If it ever shows up, cool, let's do it.
Bitch, I'm trying to bring a deed home, motherfucker. You talking about me?
So listen, this is what I'm saying. Is right now a marriage isn't anywhere in my brain because we trying to get a house. So that any money that we have is going there.
Can I interject for a second? Well, yeah, to the house.
Yes.
Right. Also, don't try and get me into anything after we buy the house either. Don't be saying, "Oh, I buy the house." Right.
I didn't even whisper.
Good. What I will say is to go back off of what you were saying with the whole like knowing people who were married and things like that. Mm-hmm. What I will say is a marriage can end. Mm-hmm. That piece of paper, that ring, could end up being nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But to have a child with somebody, that motherfucker stay around. Mm-hmm. You know, unless like, you know, for some unforeseen circumstance or, you know, some terrible thing happens. But, you know, for the majority of, like for what it is, bringing a life in together is what should really be what bonds and ties people together. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not the narrative for a lot of people or all, but it should be. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing anybody could tell me that it would be like, you know, oh, you don't love her because you didn't marry her. I mean, our love could be whatever stage of love it is at the time. You know what I mean? Like, we could be in that let's freaking freak each other every day, all night kind of love stage, or we could be in the, oh, I love you so much I want to argue and things like that kind of loving. Right, you know what I mean? Like that's the stages of love that could happen any given time, but you will always have that love because she gave me my daughter and I put my daughter in her kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
he got her from a store and put her in my belly.
Right, that's what I've been telling Yeah,
What
yeah.
Kaylee's rhetoric is.
Right. She likes to use the word rhetoric now.
Rhetoric.
But like that's it's one of those things. It's like personally, I say it there all the time. It's like don't let my views and feelings towards it like mold your mind. If you want to get married, bring that part of the conversation to the table, and we have it. That doesn't mean you're gonna end up with what you want. Doesn't mean I'm gonna end up with what I want. But in the end, we had the conversation and we're talking about it. And a lot of the times, which I'm finding out now, is how many motherfuckers you thought you knew were married, but then later you found out they didn't even go do it justice to the peace and shit. They was like, "Oh, we married," because y'all claiming y'all married. This shit don't work.
There's a lot of I will.
Hold on, let me go. You want to go check Skull? Is he out?
He's laying down.
It sounds like he's running around, probably going at that foot. He had surgery.
Tell him about the surgery.
No, you tell him because you did it.
Oh, you said it.
Wait, did we? I thought we already talked about that. That was last week, right?
Well, tell him what happened.
All right, so this motherfucker done tore the stitches. Like he popped the stitches that he has in his paw because he had like a little growth on his back right leg. So they removed the growth, and then he was doing good for about like 6 days, and then he go and fuck up and pop the stitch. So we had to take him back to the clinic or whatever, the vet. So they put staples in it, but the thing is, when he first came out of the surgery, they gave us a little bag to put on it as a booty, right? Yeah. And I was like, that's weird. Like they didn't wrap it. Like in general, you would wrap with gauze and like tape.
It was the saline that they gave him when he was under anesthesia. They just cut the top off the bag and gave us that with fucking string.
Yeah, like we threw it, but I just found it odd that they didn't wrap it with gauze and whatever for the first day or so, because I know it needs to. I know it needs to breathe, but in the first day or so, it's gonna be all tender and raw. Yeah, you want to make sure he can get to it.
Yeah.
Was he going on it?
I don't know. He walked over. He looked suspicious, so maybe. But when I told him no, he was like.
So we had to take him back. Thursday, and so they just because when he tore it, I swear he tore it on the stairs though. Yeah. Because it wasn't bleeding like that.
Yeah, and he probably really didn't open it then.
Yeah.
But
when he opened it, I was like, fuck.
I felt in my little heart that he had reopened it before.
I don't think so. Like I just feel like it might have like.
Once we saw it like open, and it was like bleeding. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck. So then when they did it, they gave him like a. What do you call it when you put it in like the area, like the needle?
Yeah, lidocaine kind of thing.
Yeah, like the numbing shit. Like they just did it with a needle, really and then they shot some fucking staples in that bitch. How many? 7 staples in there.
And it started his time over, so we have a whole fresh 2 weeks.
And then they wrapped it with. I made sure to tell her, can you make sure they wrap that shit, please?
Yeah,
like, cause I don't think they were gonna wrap it.
No, cause she was like, we don't want it wrapped all the time. I'm like, okay, you're telling me not to wrap it, but you're also telling me not to let him lick it. Which one? Pick your poison, right. Because he's a flexible fucking dog.
Right.
He got a long ass tongue and some long ass legs. That motherfucker used his elbow to open the cone, sneak his foot in there, and then was licking it. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, but I mean, he still wants to play too, so it's like.
Even drugged up, he just.
Like we just gotta keep his ass drugged up for like the whole 2 weeks, bro.
I technically can't give him any more medicine until 11.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's a fuck up on your part. We didn't talk about this one.
No.
That's talking about if the black hair was acceptable and shit.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. So let's go on to.
I gotta cook.
You cooking?
Yeah.
What are you making?
Well, I'm making rice.
Tonight?
Mhm.
So who's making what?
You're making wings.
We're having wings?
Mhm.
Oh shit! I'm making wings tonight, guys. Okay. We're having rice, not mac and cheese instead.
We're gonna make mac and cheese?
I'll make mac and cheese.
We don't have all the stuff.
Yeah, we do. We literally have everything. We have. Wait. We got macaroni noodles. That's the only thing we got. I'm not sure. So yeah, we got everything.
All right, let's do it.
Fried chicken, mac and cheese, and some collard. Oh, we don't have collard greens.
I'll go to the store right now.
Go ahead. I can make them in the pressure cooker real quick. Right. Anyways, what time is it?
6:30.
So before we get up out of here, we're gonna talk about the incident with the the military guy with the kid who was walking in the neighborhood, right?
Yes.
This one's gonna be a quick one, really, because it's like real. It's more so like.
No, there's no room for, but this kid had a arrest warrant that, should have complied
The difference with with this is that the kid could speak. He can talk now.
Yeah, he didn't die.
He has a chance to say this is what happened or whatever.
He wasn't murdered.
So, for those of you guys who don't know what happened, I don't know the name.
So, I can tell you the name right now. So, Jonathan Pentland, which was the...
military dude. Yep.
It does... The kid's name is not...
Unidentified black...
It literally says black man.
Black man. So, he was walking in this area, our neighborhood or whatever, and... In South Carolina. Listen, now when it cuts in, they're kind of already going back and forth in this one video, but there are multiple videos, so I'm sure more will come out. But in the initial context of the video that we do see, the guy, what's his name?
Jonathan Pentland.
Pentland was kind of the aggressor. Seemed like, or was the aggressor, was loud in the guy's face, telling him to get the F out of here. You don't know who you're fucking with. You don't belong here, and things like that, right? First off, the guy was walking on a sidewalk. That's public domain. That's anybody can walk on a sidewalk. Second, the guy who he was pushing and all that said, "Oh, I live here." And the guy's like, "No, you don't. No, you don't." So who are you to tell somebody where the fuck they live? And even then, if he doesn't live there and he's just walking, that's not a crime.
It's none of your business.
You can walk, exactly, right. My problem with this...
How many people walk by our house?
Right, I should just start stopping people.
Yeah, excuse me. Do you live here? You don't live on the street? Take the next street next time you walk.
No, but then again, if I start doing it, then they'll be like, oh, it's his hood.
Like, what the fuck?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to get arrested because they're going to think you're selling to the trap house.
This is my hood. That's what they're going to say.
They're going to be like, excuse me, is a drug dealer?
But, I have so many issues with this on different levels because, one, the guy was comfortable enough to go out there and approach this guy on the sidewalk, not even on his property.
Yeah, he was also comfortable enough to put his hands on this man.
Exactly. Now, hold on.
And I said, we were saying man, but he looked pretty young. He could be a teenager.
I don't know. Well, I say young man for now because I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
we're saying man, but he very well could be.
Right. So the second the guy said he lived there, the second the guy wasn't aggressive back to him and whatnot, the guy should have just fell the fuck back.
The whole time, this poor young man was like still being respectful.
Right. The guy did shove him twice, I think. But the one thing the young dude did right was he said, "Man, you been drinking? You smell like liquor." He says
he was like, "You're drunk." Clear
as day in the video. So it's like y'all motherfuckers better have tested that guy's alcohol level because now it's touching. Well, it's public intoxication and all that shit, and then again, now it's physical harm on somebody.
Because the young man said, "You hit me. You put your hands on me."
Yeah,
and
he
said this out his own mouth was like, "I didn't hit you. I pushed you. I shoved you. That's different or something." You're admitting to putting your hands on somebody else. Is what you just did.
Dumbass. Yep.
And then did it again.
Right. So the guy's wife was all rah like a motherfucker.
And she was screaming, "You don't belong here. This is our neighborhood. There's no way you live here."
Wow, she did that really good. What the fuck?
That's exactly what she sounded like.
No, your demeanor was right. Like you just channeled your inner white.
I must have.
You guys saw that shit? She was really good at that. I'm offended. I don't like that. Never do that again. So when the guy went to go talk, the young guy went to go talk to her, and it was like, "Man,
no, he didn't even go to talk to her. He
was talking in her direction, and that's when the dude pushed the fuck out of him.
The guy told him, Jonathan Pentland,
"Oh, get out of here! I'll
said,
take your
walk
ass
away now.
Yeah,
don't test me. Walk away. See what I can do to you." He started to walk away, which was in the direction of this man's wife, but that's the only way he could have went at that moment.
Right.
Then the dude was like, what is that? Like, he said something about his wife, and he was like, "I was walking away." Then he turned around and started walking the other way. The dude was like, "Get the fuck out of here, walk away."
Puts his chest to him.
Yeah, and
so he cut off his way to walk.
And he shoved him hard.
When he shoved him like off to the side, like that's when he was like talking to the wife again. So the thing is, the guy wasn't even walking towards the wife; he was speaking at her. Right? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. No matter what, if there's like some sort of interaction or altercation of any sort, be it loud or not, I'm going to be in between her and whoever. Right? I'm not going to be doing like that pushing the guy and shit like when he's talking.
Especially because he wasn't aggressive.
I don't sit there talking to women. I don't do that. I don't sit there if there's any kind of altercation to talk to a woman. I don't do it. As a guy, you know, is your husband around? Is your man around? Or is it your dad or somebody? You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to sit there and demean or argue with a female if shit gets heated or whatever. In this situation, I feel like the woman was too rah-rah and was wrong. And this guy, the guy defended someone who was wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? And also he was in the wrong too. So it's like y'all both look bad.
So something that in the video that pissed me off too is not only was it a sense of entitlement, right? Of course, it was a sense of entitlement, a sense of privilege that was coming out with these people. He said
we're a tight-knit neighborhood.
Community.
We know each other.
However, that wasn't even what pissed me off the most. What pissed me off the most is that you are asking this person,
where he lives,
21 motherfucking questions. Where do you live? I live here. No, you don't. Going off on this kid. And I say kid, but this motherfucker, the kid then asks him, where do you live? Or something, what's your address? He goes, it's none of your business. So you can ask him all these goddamn questions, but you can't answer one motherfucking question? Stop. You don't live here. You don't belong here.
Yeah. Bitches. Yeah, I just feel like, again, it's
the wife too was like, it's none of your business.
Right, but like, why the fuck do you get to ask? You know what I'm saying? Like,
why does he have to answer to you and you don't have to answer to him?
Right. And so again, it was like you could hear multiple people around. Yeah. So I don't know like exactly who else was yelling whatever, but in the end, you could tell that it was either a super old Southern white woman who got mixed grandbabies, or a black woman who said, "Come on, baby, so you don't need this problem," and he walked off with her. You know what I mean? So it's in the end, I hope this motherfucker lived there. So in the end, this guy looks like a real dickhead because you already look like a dickhead for the way you moved.
And then they wanna take his wife and put her somewhere safe because it's not
safe. Wife and family. He had kids or not?
I think so. I think he had 1 or 2 kids.
So when they ended up like, cause the protesters and shit went to the fucking neighborhood and was all like, you know, saying whatever, but even then they were like, oh, it turned violent. I have yet to see anything like where you show me where it got violent.
I mean, the Capitol, that is still worse off. So, I mean,
there's bodies in the Capitol insurrection or whatever you want to call it. I like to call it a coup. That be making them motherfuckers mad.
The Capitol rioters. That's what they were.
No, they weren't rioters.
They were rioters.
No, they were what do you call that when you go to overthrow something?
What?
When you go to overthrow a coup.
Tyranny.
Tyranny is the ones who are enforcing. No, a coup is when you go and like trying to overthrow whatever establishment is.
These motherfuckers were.
So they were literally like.
They were acting like animals.
I know. Yo,
and nobody said nothing.
See, now I want to ask a question, but people got to get all sense. I don't give a fuck.
No, ask it.
When the lady was coming through the thing, when the lady was coming through the window in the Capitol thing, and the dude lit her ass up and killed her, did he shoot her in the chest or in the head? Like, how'd that shit play out?
Wait, what?
Yeah, because when they broke the window and were going in, the police officer told them stop. One shot rang out, killed the lady. Did he hit her in the head and the chest? Like, I don't know where she died.
Did he, shoot her in the
yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I found that shit crazy. And again, what you just did was a whataboutism, technically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of the current climate that we're in is just like it's always gonna be based around this race shit until we, as a people, turn this shit into.
Speaking of the Capitol rioter, the Oath Keepers founding member becomes the first defendant to plead guilty in the federal charges. You want me to?
No. How many? So he got a deal.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's.
So how much time are you getting?
But bitch, this is since January.
How much time is he getting?
In January, what this happened?
Yeah, the 6th. Yeah. Probation.
Part of a plea deal. Mm-hmm. He agreed to give testimony and witness interviews. And they're gonna put him in witness protection.
Oh, he's snitching.
He was
What was he facing?
The judge will consider federal sentencing guidelines 41 months to 51 months in prison and $15,000 to $150,000 fine plus restitution. That's what he's facing.
That's it? He said 51 months?
51 months is what?
Like 7 years?
4.
4 years? I said 7. God damn, I'm back.
4.25.
4.25 years.
So it's like not even.
I said 7 like a jackass. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. That's a federal rap too, man. How you only get
literally 4 years and 3 months.
But how you only get 4 years for
That's
that?
max.
Right. Someone died there.
That's max.
Y'all beat police officers and shit. How y'all only get 4?
Man, he could get 3 years.
Well, you gotta remember that's with the plea deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's with the deal. That's not what he was initially facing.
No, that's what he's facing. That's his sentencing hearing, which has yet to be scheduled. The
Right,
judge will consider federal sentencing guidelines. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So that's what he's gonna get because of the deal. Yeah.
He noted that he self-surrendered and is the first to plead guilty.
Right.
His attorney said.
Right. Yeah, that just. It's just a show of fuck you, spit it in the face of everybody
Before
else.
you ask.
What?
Before you ask. Yes, he's right.
We knew he was white, motherfucker. What? I wasn't asking. Yeah. That's. I don't know. Again, we need to make this shit like at a federal level. Make the racism and the hate shit be, illegal, as a whole. Once we start to do that, then we'll start to really see change. We'll see, or not change, but motherfuckers will shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like they will not be as comfortable as they are out in the open and things like that. But other than that, it's like just try not to put your hands on a motherfucker. If you're the one being stopped or something like that, just do what you got to do to make it home. That's all I say. I'm not saying that comply bullshit that people like to throw out and whatnot. Nah, man, make it home. Like fuck that. Make it home to your family. Even if that means you talk your shit, but do it properly. You know what I mean? Do it in the sense where you talk your shit. You let them know, like, I'm a person and I don't deserve to be treated this way. And just get home to your fucking family. But I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see.
Didn't you text me something?
It was the Ohio thing.
Oh, but yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's been going on. It's a lot of the same old shit, So with that, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because now I just found out I got to go make chicken and mac and cheese. So. With that being said, this has been another successful installment of the With All Disrespect podcast. Thank you guys. Good night.